Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Bahruddin Ibrahim. Now I want to tell you about how to write a narrative essay. How to write a narrative essay. A narrative essay is a story about your experience, either imaginary or real. So if it's real, it's about the experience of yours or people around you. Or if it's imaginary, it also can be a legend or folk tales. Can also tell a story of somebody's life, like that. A good narrative tells specific story, so it tell the details of the story. There are components of its story: a plot, character, setting, and description. You know, the plot is like the way, or I call it, like the alur that the story, the character, about their features, about the story, like the antagonist or protagonist, setting and description. And then the story have its own the line. Yes, the line. It's like this, and I will tell you. Like, the first is the beginning. The beginning is like the expositions, or call it as orientation. At this part, introduce and describe the people, place and time of the stories. So at the part you will know the character who is, and the character life, who is he and what you really want to, and after that the middle part. The middle part is like there's most of them are cause the problem. Yes, problem, like consists of rising actions, climax, and falling action. In this part can have several paragraphs, can describe more activities and even like the problem involves your main, like exposure. Activities are even involving your main are expanded. So after that, at the end part is end. At the end, you will get resolve the complication. All the problem that you got are resolved, is done. So it consists of the resolution at the ending. So you can decide that you want to make a plot twist on your stories, or you can leave the readers up about the mystery or something like that, or you want to give hints. You wanna make the sequel of your stories. And about the point of view, if you want to make this everything, you have to pay attention on the point of view also. Describe from which character represent the story is presented to be audience. Be consist. First, if you use I, it means that you are the first person, and if you use she or he instead of I, so it's used third person point. Or so if you use the name, it's also called the third person. And things to remember: always use the past tense. Yes, you always have to use the past tense. So you can't use the present tense. So because it's a narrative, it's happened before. And then describe events chronologically. Describe the event step by step. Like I said before, the story have the line. It's the beginning, the middle, and the end. Don't use too much dialogue. Don't use much, like the A person say like blah blah blah, then blah 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 blah. So it's not the narrative anymore. So it's bad. Don't use that. Use sensory details when describing something: sight, source, smell, taste, hear. So you have to show the detail of your story. So that's the point. And then use descriptive language with the verbs audience, verb, but don't overuse them. So that. And then I will show you what kind of story. I'll tell you a story and then tell you which part of the exposition or something like that. Short biography of Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha. This is the first part. This is like I used them before. This is the beginning. The exposition. So we will know the main character, and we see from what family or something like that. This Gautama Buddha was contemporary of Mahavira. Gautama Buddha's royal name was Siddhartha. He was son of Sudartama, the chief of Sakya clan of Kapilavastu in the Nepal Tarai area. He was born in 566 before Christ, before century, in the village of Lumbini, a few miles from Kapilavastu. Siddhartha lost his mother at the time of his birth and was brought up by his aunt and stepmother right from his childhood. Siddhartha showed inclination towards contemplation. He loved seclusion and avoided the company of his playmates. So we know about the Buddha from his family or his childhood as far. He spent most of his time meditating over the various human problems. His father, Suddhodana, tried to attract him towards worldly objects and married Siddhartha to a beautiful princess, Yasodhara, the daughter of Sakya noble. He provided all possible pleasure and excited the young Siddhartha so that he could get involved in the worldly affair. But Siddhartha was not happy with all this. He continued to concentrate on problems of birth, old age, sickness, sorrow, and impurity. At the age of 26, he was blessed with a son, but he did not feel happy. Instead, he considered it as a bond. Soon after the birth of his son, he left his home in search of truth, become a wandering ascetic. This renunciation by Buddha is known as Mahapratyaga. So this is the end of the beginning part, exposition. So we will enter the middle part. The middle part consists of rising action, climax, and falling action. So in this part, you will get so many problem stories. The problem of the stories. Okay, this is the story. After leaving his house, Gautama Buddha went to Vaishali. He lived with a famous philosopher Adara Kalama, but was not satisfied with his teachings. He therefore moved to Rajgrada and met Rudraka and other philosophers. But here also he did not get satisfaction. After this, Siddhartha practiced several penance for 6 years and reduced himself to a circumcision, but he did not get any satisfaction. He gave up penance and took bowl of milk offered to him by village girl Sujata. He then sat under peepal tree and said, "Let my skin, my nerves, my bones waste away. Let my life would dry up. I will not leave this posture until I have perfect attainment." So that's the problem. So the Buddha want to get the attainment. That is the problem. The rising. This is the part of rising action. So then we reach the climax. He remained in meditation for 7 days and 7 nights was ultimately enlightened on the 8th day. On the day of enlightenment, he came to be known as Buddha or Tathagata. Siddhartha discovered the law of causation, a cycle of universe. This law had not been taught of any philosopher before him. After his enlightenment, Gautama decided to preach. This is the falling action, the reduction of the problem. After his enlightenment, Gautama decided to preach the knowledge to the people of their benefits. First of all, he went to Benares and Sanara, which were great centers of learning in those days. First of all, Sarna, preaching to the 5 monks who had left him in despair. He taught them the middle of path. And ascetic should avoid feeling extremes. He should neither addicting himself to pleasure, selfishness, nor herself. mortification. And so he, Gautama, said in motivation of Dharma Chakra. Is still under filing action, still in middle part. These 5 monks were greatly impressed by him teaching and became his disciple again. Thus, the foundation of Buddha somehow was laid. Then Buddha visited Rajgriha, where was accorded to warm welcome by the Bimbasara. From here he moved to Saravasti, the capital of Kosala. At Kosala, King Prasnit became his disciple. Then Gautama proceeded to Kapilavastu, where a large number of people became his disciples, including his wife Yashodhara and his son Rahul. Buddha concentrated to activities in Magadha and preached his message to a large number of people. So this is the end of filing action, the end of the middle part. So we enter to the end part, which is the resolution, the end of the story. The other places where his message was received with great admiration were Kashi, Kosala, Vaji, Avanti. Buddha continued to preach his message till his death in 487 before Christ, or before century. His last words were, "Now, monks, I have nothing more to tell you, but that all that is composed to elegantly decay, strive after salvation and act." There is no. So this is the ending. There is no plot twist. And at this story, you can see that the writer used the Gautama Buddha as the first person view, point of view, first person. So it's used Buddha, the name of people, and then all of these use the past tense. Yes, this is past tense, and then at the ending, all of this, there is no too much using of dialogue. That's all. So this is the good story. This is called as the legend or folk tales, because if we are not this is not linked about religious, so we can't just trust this. So we call it's just a folk tales of the legend of the Buddha, not as complicated, not linked as the god or something like that. Okay, that's all from me about the essay writing. If there's any mistake, I'm sorry. And that's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.